guys, so in this video I'm going to try to do a little bit of a recap on everything that we have learned this week. So for the origami swan sculpture, you are going to need some white copy paper. You can also get some colored copy paper if you want to make yours look different, but at the very least you're going to need white copy paper. You can buy that in small packs at the dollar store. You don't have to buy like a whole 500 pack of paper if you don't use it at home. I will say that the nicer copy paper, like usually the colored paper is nicer quality, actually holds up a little bit better. So just plain old copy paper, it's usually really thin. And when you start building your base, I have noticed that it doesn't hold together as nicely as some of the thicker copy paper, but you would not want something as thick as construction paper because that would start causing another issue. But get yourself some paper unless you have paid your craft fee and you want me to get it for you, and then I'll be purchasing it for you and bringing it in, and I'll give you your supplies as we use them. So the first thing that we did is we learned how to fold your paper to get the squares that you need, because you want to fold your paper in such a way that you end up with 16 squares on the paper. So real quick recap, the way we did that is we folded it in half, okay? And then we folded this one in half, right? And then I said open it back up and fold it down. I guess that's hamburger style there. And fold it down again. Press it. So what happens when you open it up, when you do that, is you have 4 squares this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and I said do it the same way every time so that your squares end up being the same size every single time. You want them to be really consistent, so you'll end up with something that looks like this. All right, so from those we folded them. So fold it, I guess that's hot dog style there, and then fold it hamburger style. I'm not good with these names, guys. I never taught elementary school much. All right, so now you end up with something like that. Open it back up. Make sure the side that's facing your body is the open side. You're gonna see a crease in the paper right here. So just fold it down on that crease just like this. It's gonna make it look like a house. It's important to do your best to get a point right here. Make these two meet in the middle but not overlap, and they should be fairly even down here. Flip it over. All right, now there's no opening here. I can see a little opening down there where that's sticking out. What I like to do when they're this small is I'll just roll it with my thumb. Now see, I've got a point there. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna roll this down. And mine aren't perfect. You can see the papers aren't lining up perfectly. It's okay, but you want them to get as perfect as possible. You got a point here and a point here. Now we're just gonna push it down like this, or roll it up kind of. Give it a good press so it stays in place. All right, so now this is nice and even. There's no paper hanging off the edge. All right, I've pushed it with my fingernail so it doesn't go anywhere, and I can close it like a book. All right, so that's one square. And we need to make pairs out of them. So you're gonna need 2 to do that. Because to start our base, we need 30 pairs, so we gotta pair them. So if you open yours up, you see these little flaps right here. That side is facing each other, okay? Like they're going to lunch, they're talking, all right? So they gotta be face to face. That's this side right here where we got the little flaps, all right? So hold yours just like you see the same direction I'm holding mine. Now I'm going to turn these pieces like the hands of a clock. They're gonna go clockwise, just like this, and stop. So now there's 2 points here. I'm going to use this top point only. This one's gonna be hanging free, don't worry about that one. take this top point, look in the back here, there's going to be 2 pockets, one right over here on the left and one on the right. Stick it in that back pocket. When you do, yours will look like this. Okay? So you have one triangle down here like this. The other side's still hanging free. That's okay. It's not tucked in. And then I have one up here. So if you set yours down, it should look like this. If I press it down so you can see what it looks like, it'll look like this. Now we need to make a pair out of them. Well, we need to take 2 pairs and start putting them together. I'm sorry, this is a pair. You must have 30 pairs. 30 pairs to create one base. Okay? So now we got to figure out how to put the pairs together to make the base. Well, if I take 2 pairs and I look at them, you can see that they are identical. Okay? They're going the same direction. Really what we're going to do is we're just going to line all these pairs up. Here's another one. Now, when I'm just holding them in my hand right now, and you can see that these top pieces where I've paired them, they're all lined up right here. And down here at the bottom, that's that part that extends off the edge. They're all going the same direction. So I'm really just laying them one on top of the other. And that's what we're going to do to create the base, but we got to make them stick together somehow. All right, so I'm going to take 2. I have one pair, one pair. Now if I flip it over and look at it, you remember that we stuck this one piece in the back pocket over here. This front pocket is empty, so we're going to stick the other one in that front pocket. So line it up first, make sure you have it go in the right direction. They should look identical. And take that free side and stick it in that pocket. Now I have 2 that are stuck together. I'm going to do that again. So I'm lining them up. They look exactly the same. They're going the same direction. I'm going to take this side back here that's hanging loose, and I'm going to shove it up in that front pocket. Just like that. And now they're stuck together. Now look how this top piece right here, those are all lining up right here. This bottom piece that hangs out longer on the bottom part of the pair, those are all lining up. You're going to connect 30 of them just like that. And once you get to the end, you'll just connect the last 2. And you'll end up with something that looks kind of like this. Now I took this one step further. If you got your base together, in order to make it stay put a little better, you can go ahead and add your next piece. So when you finish your base, you won't have these on here. Yours will just look like this. And it's going to be kind of loose. It's going to want to fall apart, and you're going to feel like you've done something wrong, and you haven't. Now if you look, here's where, this is one piece right here. What I want to do is I want to take 2 pieces, and I'm going to turn. If you look, this is the part that's together. This back here is the part that's open. Okay. I'm going to take this. Let's see. And I'm going to turn it to where this part right here that you see that's together kind of makes a U shape right there. I'm going to turn it down towards the table, and I'm going to connect 2 pieces right there, just like that. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to find here's my piece. I'm going to flip it over where, if I think about this little U shape as being like the toe of a boot or something, I'll flip it over. Okay, there's my side where the pieces are folded in, if you want to think about it that way. That's the side I'm working with. I'm going to fold it back up. That's right there. Here's what the bottom looks like. And I'm going to take one little piece on either side, and I'm going to feed it through. And what that's doing is it's connecting. So here's 2 more loose pieces. I'm going to take my piece. Here's the side with the tabs on it. I'm going to close it up. All right, that's the spine here that's showing right there. And I'm gonna shove 1 point in this pocket and 1 point in this pocket. Just like this. And once you do that, you can kind of squeeze them together, just like this, and start angling it up, because we're gonna start building up from here. You can see mine's not perfect, but try to start making your triangles a little bit more accurately, and that's gonna help you out. We're just gonna start building up from there. So hopefully everybody gets this far. We'll see what they look like next week. If you get lost and you absolutely cannot make it, you need to spend your time making more of these and turning them into these. If you might remember that the best way to stack these is to turn them all the same direction. So these are going the same direction, and I can flip it over. There's those little pockets in there. There's my points, okay? And just stick them right in there. And I can do this just to stack them up so I don't lose them when I'm carrying them around. So again, turn it so they're angled the same direction. Oh, gotta have the little, so here's my points that are loose. I'm gonna shove it right inside, just like that. And if I make a huge stack of these, they're really easy to carry. I won't lose them, and it'll kind of puff them up a little bit so that it'll work really nice when I'm starting to build my swan base. You need a whole bunch of these. So if you absolutely cannot get this together, what you need to do for today, Friday, is make a whole bunch of these. Take a picture of it and put it in your sketchbook that shows what you did for the day. Okay? All right. So good luck. You guys are doing good. I know you probably feel like you're not, but you are. Crafting it every other day is kind of hard because it's helpful to have someone working with you right by your side. But you guys are doing great. You're going to make it. And when you get them done, I think you're going to feel pretty proud of yourself for accomplishing a difficult task like that. And it does work another part of your brain that you often don't use. It strengthens the creative side of your brain. And even if you don't consider yourself someone interested in art, creativity is not limited to art. Creativity just means thinking outside the box, and it works that muscle. And if you want to be successful in life, you got to learn how to figure things out. So this is a good way to do it. You guys are doing awesome. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for all of your hard work this week.